Good evening, Coinmunity, and welcome back to yet another Coinmunity Wednesdays. For tonight's discussion, we will be having CARV and diving more into gaming, AI, and data because CARV's scope for their project is pretty wide. So we'll be having Leo from their team to break down and introduce CARV to us, Coinmunity. And also with us for tonight's panel, we also have Giu, a local KOL who does educational content. So we'll be asking him also about how he stays up to date with all the trends and happenings in the crypto space. Don't forget that every week we also take community questions from the X and FB live stream pages. So if your question is chosen for Leo and Giu, we'll be sending some carved tokens straight to your coins wallet. So drop a GM, drop your questions down in the stream, and I guess let's begin by introducing our guests for tonight. So first of all, familiar face up here on the Community Wednesday stage. I'd like to bring up Gio on stage. Gio, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm doing great,
Nice.
actually. Yeah,
How are you doing? How are you doing?
doing great. Just had a time to rest post Dubai because I attended Token 2049 and Sui Base Camp during that time there, and then I rested for more than a week, and I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us again this week, Gio. Nice to see you again. And of course, let's also bring up on stage Leo from Carve. Leo, welcome to Community Wednesdays. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, Jaffa. And nice to meet you, Gio.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. All right. So I guess we can start off the first portion of our live stream with Leo introducing Carve to the community, and then afterwards we'll also be getting Gio's insights, um, and then we'll also be taking the community questions. So Leo, I'd like to put you up on stage and pitch Carve to the community. So maybe for those hearing about Carve for the first time, how would you describe it in one sentence? And what problem is Carve trying to solve in Web3 and gaming and the crypto space in general?
Yeah, thanks, Jaffa. Actually, it's quite a challenge to describe CARV in only like one sentence. So like briefly, what we are building in CARV is the AI chain ecosystem to enable the data self-sovereignty, which is like make sure your data privacy is protected. And also every time someone is using your data from your data utility, you can share part of the value from the data exchange and data utility. And the most likely verticals that this will happen will be in gaming and AI. So this is if I describe CARV in one sentence. But I have to add something to make sure it's like easier to understand. To achieve this target, that we are building like several different levels. In the bottom level, there is what we are building called the CARV protocol, which is the modular data layer. And in this layer, the reason why we call it modular data layer because there are also multiple layers here, including an ID layer, which is the CARV ID. There you put everything about your on-chain and off-chain data into one ID NFT, and we make sure the data is protected there. And then there is a storage layer, which is using the Greenfield, and also the execution layer using the TEE. And all this data layer is trying to make sure our users' data can only be utilized when they got the user's permission. And also, like all the data is utilized in a privacy-preserving manner. This is the bottom. And in the middle, what we are building is the called the data framework, the DATA, the data authentication, trust, and attestation framework. And this is mainly trying to deliver the high quality and also the cross on-chain, off-chain data, which enrich the tags and metrics and giving to the AI agent for them to learn, share, and also can evolve like dynamically. And this is the middle. And on top of this data framework and also on top of our like data protocol, we are building a lot of the products, including the most well-known one is called CarPlay. It's the game like publishing and distribution platform. And also we are building like multiple games on Telegram, on Kaya. Also there's a mobile application. And also we are trying to build more. So I think this is the whole structure of CARV.
All right. So you have a lot of things that you're building out with Carve. I mean, you mentioned you have your data framework, you have your Carve protocol, your Carve ID. So many things baking in the pipeline. So I think one thing I'd like to ask, and maybe this one would be great for the coin community because a lot of them are gamers, right? So I think one thing we wanted to touch on was data ownership for gamers. So maybe what does that mean, and why should everyday gamers and players care?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I am a hardcore gamer myself and have been working in game industry for around 10 years. And I think for most of the players, including me, when thinking about like data ownership, there's always one question: why should I care about it? Because I play game, I just want to have fun. As long as the game is fine enough, why should I care about the data ownership? But actually, the question is, there are something which is belongs to the users or belongs to the players when they play to the games. But most of players do not know that, and this kind of right is deprived from the users in the Web2 gaming industry. So I think we can start with a question, which is like, what is the industry that is like utilizing the user's personal data most? That is like advertisement. And among the performance marketing in advertisement, 50% of the like total industry is from gaming. So there are two ways to use like users' data. One is like when you do advertisement and target as a certain group of users. Another thing is like for those like in-game, no matter it's events or monetizations, based on the users' data or preferences, and you can provide the like the customized content to the different group users. And all this is using the user's data to generate revenue. But first, this is like without the user's permission to utilizing their data. And second is it's generating revenue, but users never share a part of this revenue. So the data ownership means for the users, there are like two things. The first is the privacy, that your data is only shared to a party with your permission. And the second is that users can share the value from users' data utility. For example, if there is the IAA game, which is using the in-game advertisement as the main like monetization method, when there is like one target advertisement target on you, for example, you are SLG player, and this advertisement, you click it, and this generates, we say maybe $1 revenue, and users can share a part of the revenue, and game developer can share a part of the revenue. So the whole thing, what matters is the redistribution of the gaming business model in Web3. So that is why like data ownership and also data self-sovereignty also matters a lot to the players.
All right. So I guess to follow up on that, so you've partnered with over 900 games. Like looking at your website and all the games you've partnered with. So maybe what does that integration look like for players, and how does it enhance the gaming experience through and with CARV?
Yeah, actually, there are different level of the integrations and also the collaborations with our gaming partners. So the first level is just having their games like presence on CARV Play, which is having the game listed on CARV Play, so they can have a dedicated game zone. And then users can find this game, and also they're gonna be a community there, and also with a lot of users giving the reviews and ratings to the game. So when you discover the game, you can see, okay, these are the users giving the very high ratings to the game. So maybe it worth for me to try or invest my time and money. And also for those games on CARV Play, many of our game partners are launching events. I remember like in the past 1 year, there are over 2,500 events launching on CARV Play, which is like for some of the games, they want to increase their engagement or having some user acquisition. They will also provide rewards to their users on CARV Play. And also on CARV's end, we are also providing rewards. Also, as you know, there is the feature which is called the CARV Shop on CARV Play, which is our gaming partners also providing some items, rewards to the users. So users can redeem the rewards or join the raffle with the coins they earn on CARV Play, which is the centralized coin as a points. Yeah. So this is the first level of the collaborations. And in the second level of the collaborations, there are many of the games they have already integrated with what I just shared, the CARV ID and the CARV protocol, which means users can using their CARV ID to log into the game. And also the data flow in that game is also through the CARV protocol, which means users' data is utilized in a privacy preserving manner. And also in the CARV ID, there's one feature which is withdraw, because as you know, CARV ID is also a wallet. So every time in these games, which is already integrated with a CARV protocol, if there is any revenue generated through your data in that game, the part of the revenue will be shared to this CARV ID, which is the wallet directly, and you can withdraw that money. So that is already integrated with several of the IAA game, which is utilizing the in-game ads as the main monetization model. This is the second level. And the third level, which is through one of our innovative feature, which we called Infinite Play. And in that feature, every season we invite around like 10 games to join, and users can stake their CARV token to get the votes, and then vote for the game they enjoy to play, and then play the games and complete the task from the games and to earn. The earning is including the prize pool, which we are like providing to our users, and also some of the prize from the game partners. So we just finished the first official season, because before our TGE we got like 3 testing season. The first official season we got around 20k of the players joining and sharing around like 300k of the CARV token rewards in if we play season 1. So this is the third level for our collaborations.
All right. So you mentioned that you have CARV ID. I think as the wallet for those rewards. So I think the next thing we can talk about is, so you mentioned rewards is something that a lot of our viewers love to um, kind of grind out for and be involved with. So the CARV launched Stake Your Way In recently. So what can your stakers expect in terms of like rewards that they gain and the community benefits that they have access to?
Oh, thanks for asking. Yeah, recently we launched several campaigns for our stakers. One is on our on-chain staking campaign. There is a staking feature for us since TGE, which is stake.carv.io. And in that feature, we just have an update, which is just happening today. That from today to the end of June, that the highest VCARV. VCARV is kind of like if you stake the CARV token, you can get a VCARV as the voting right. The highest VCARV from your staking will determine like what is the level of the exclusive NFT badge that you can unlock, and the badge will decide as the like how much of the CARV Season 3 airdrop you can get. It's one of the like credentials from our Season 3 airdrop. This is the first campaign, which is just happening today. And second is on CARV Play. We are launching like multiple events for the CARV token stakers, including one event is sharing a prize pool that you reach the certain staking levels, and the first come first serve can get the CARV token rewards. And the second is like there is the leaderboard. So compete on the leaderboard. There's more rewards for you to pursue. And also there are a lot of the other privilege we are providing to our stakers, including there is the special Discord channel and also the different level of the Discord like staker role. There are certain items in our CARV shop and also the exclusive events for our stakers in the future. So the reason why we are launching so many stakers at this current moment is because we think we, as we are like moving forward really fast, building a lot of things in our infrastructure as well as applications, we should not forget our like long-term supporters. We value our long-term supporters. We want to create some like benefit to our supporters and also kind of like create a chance for us to build together in the longer term, in the future.
All right. So I think the last question I have for you from me was this, Leo. So maybe what's the vision that you guys have for CARV in the second half of 2025? How can the Coinmunity of coins.ph, get an early, contribute to the movement and get more involved with, CARV's initiatives?
Yeah, got it. Thanks. So several things. Because we are going to release our like update of the roadmap very soon. But some things that I can show first. One is like in the gaming verticals, we are going to definitely upgrade and expanding the ability of our data framework. Because right now it's mainly like providing the high quality of the different on-chain data to the AI agent. But the data framework should have like more ability besides just providing the data. So this is gonna be a huge update for our data framework. And at the same time, we have been starting to build our own like AI agent and also the AI applications. Some applications serving as like the, for example, the daily health application or some like the tools for you to playing games better. And all this will be powered by AI tools and also the AI data framework. And second vertical we are going to explore more will be in gaming. There will be the Infinite Play Season 2 very soon. And there are going to be some like bigger names Infinite Play Season 2 and also like larger rewards pool. And also at the same time, we are trying to explore more in the gaming distribution. As you know, like right now, Web3 games is growing, but not very fast. There are the limited number of the games that we can collaborate with. So at the same time, we are trying to work with small games, cross Web2 and Web3, and to seek for some like chance for us to do the gaming distribution publishing, which means targeting as not only our Web3 users, but also the Web2 players in a larger scale. So these are the two verticals that we will be continuous to focus in the next several months. And also talking about like working with like Coins Philippines, I think definitely we will work with your team to see if there's any amazing campaigns that we can run together on the platform. And also at the same time, welcome to all the users to join our community. We have amazing like country manager and also like the guardians in our community. And also there's a very closed and very active community. So welcome to our community members to join. And also at the same time, if you are interested in the data framework, uh, the data framework, the code is already like public on the GitHub. So feel free to go through it, and also welcome to join our dev community.
Awesome. Yeah, I was looking through the Guardians pages. I think our community members who want to get more involved, with that, check it out. And maybe if the program is something of interest to you, you guys can dive deeper into that. So Leo, thank you so much for that. I think it's important also for our viewers because a lot of them are looking for those opportunities in Web3. So I think the Guardians program for CARV is something that they can also look into. So Leo, thank you so much for sharing, a bit more
Thank
about
you.
CARV. So we'll get
That's
back to
awesome,
you again
Leo.
for the community questions. Yeah. So Gio, it's your turn. And I guess as a
Yeah.
KOL, as an educator, the first question I have for you is this. So, the ideas behind CARV, they talk about identity, soulbound
Okay.
tokens, monetizing data can be a lot. So how do you personally break down, and understand complex concepts, and especially in crypto and Web3 where it's a lot and it comes fast?
Actually, generally, I would give I would dive in the complicated parts first, generally, and then of course I will go through simplifying everything, because you don't everything doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as simple terms. Like if you're gonna go through modular identity, it's 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 controlling certain parts of the data, what on what you want to share. Like an example, like if you're gonna go to a bar, the only thing you have to share is your if is your age. Like if you're 18, you don't have to share your full name, your address, etc. So like I'm 18 years old, so you can only share that. That's pinpointing the your identity for a specific thing that is needed. So next is soulbound tokens, right? So it's like proving it's bounded to you, like it's proving things about you technically. Like if you example, you graduated from a university, it's always bounded to you that you're a graduate from a university. Like if you're we're gonna apply it to web3 gaming, uh for example, for carb, it proved things about you for skills, memberships and stuff. Like for example, you achieve a certain thing to a certain game, and then you need to prove that to another game. That's the power of web3 for that part. And then for data monetization, of course, it's common sense. Everyone wants monetization for data, because of course most of the time, like here on Facebook, and I mean all the platforms that is free, you we think it's free, we're just giving our data for free, but they're earning from it. So we all want that monetization for our own data. So yeah, just simplify everything.
Yeah, I like what you said. So just dive head in first and simplify it, break it down. So I guess the
Yeah.
next question I have for you is, so especially since you create content a lot, right? So how do you turn what you learn into something practical, like actionable insights for gamers or creators in the Web3 space? So more of like conversion now and execution, I guess.
Okay, it's actually a good question. If we're gonna go through the what you asked a while ago, I'm just gonna give that as an example. For example, modular identity. Sometimes if I need to prove something that I have. Like example, I have my board ape NFT right here, and then I need to prove that I have that in a specific game or a specific axis. I can just prove that I have that rather than just going through all the processes that is needed to prove that. So that is one example. And then soulbound, through soulbound tokens, as an example that I gave a while ago, uh, what would really help with that is that, for example, I achieved something in Final Fantasy 14, and then I have achievements from that, and I want to prove that to to a different genre of game, like Counter Strike. So it kind of will help with that dynamic in the future, and I'm really excited for that dynamic. And then data monetization, like before, we're most of the time we don't earn from our gaming, but right now we already have chances to earn from gaming. So with the power of Web3. So yeah.
All right. So I guess the last question I have for you, Gio, is, so people who are new but curious about AI, gaming, Web3, that ecosystem and the intersection, what's an easy habit that they can do, or a resource that you can recommend to start learning smarter about these things, not just harder where they might not be taking anything in like productively.
Again, I would go back to the specifics earlier that you don't have to complicate things. You can start from scratch. Like, um, the best thing I would recommend for newbies is just consume content, tons of content. I mean, sometimes there are not so good content. There are good content. If you mix every content that you watch, you'll get the gist of it eventually. What I do is before I sleep, I consume a lot of YouTube content, a lot of YouTube content about AI, gaming, Web3, crypto, and all those such. And then during the day on my extra time, I just doom scroll about Web3 stuff, and then eventually, all those things I absorbed already. So that is like just passive learning for me because I do it in an everyday basis. So you can do that too.
I love that. So it's part of your everyday thing. All
Yeah.
right, so I think we can. I have no other questions from my end. I think it's best to hear some of our community members also on Facebook and on X, and get their ideas also. And maybe I'm seeing a lot of questions, but I think they're probably more oriented for Leo, because they're more about carve. But I guess I'd like to hit up the community and also ask questions, for Gio. Maybe if you have some burning questions you'd also like to ask him, don't be shy and share them also here. So I picked out a few questions, Leo. So maybe the first one, I like this one. So JJ Shu, they ask, how is Carve actively reaching out to communities in Southeast Asia, especially in countries like the Philippines where gaming is massive? So you mentioned the Guardians program, but if there are other initiatives that you have as well, do feel free to share that as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for this question. So I think there is the kind of like a common sense, which is like South Asia market and also South Asia players and users are very important in gaming, no matter it's like Web 2 or Web 3. So before I start to build Carve around like 2.5 years ago, I have been like working in gaming industry in the publishing and mainly target as like South Asia players and trying to create like games that popular among South Asia, including the games, for example, like Free Fire, Mobile Legends, some games like this, which is really popular. So I continue is like this kind of logic in car, which is like first we need to understand what is the most popular game among South Asia players, and then trying to create some of the tournaments, events, or scenarios that can have people playing the games they love together. So one of the mission in the CARV community is not only like serving the purpose about like data self sovereignty, because they're gonna be a very serious and like very high level topic for all our players. So the first step we do is trying to create a good atmosphere, which everyone can play the game they love together. So we have like holding the tournaments about like Mobile Legends, and also when there's the new popular game, for example, the Blacksmith Wukong, which is like
Yeah.
killing last year. And when that game launched, then we have the community events, game nights, and everybody play that game together and talk to each other. So I think that is the part I love most, which is like before the Web3, like data self-sovereignty community, we are a gamer community and everybody loves to play games. Yeah. And second thing is for us, we think it's very, very important to listen to our users across different countries, especially that we know like Philippines and South Asia are the very important, no matter we call it like market or our like supporters in this area. So that's why we have the Guardian program and the country manager, which is leading our community and trying to get our users and supporters feedback to us. And so we can have the occasionally and also a weekly basis like communication to each other. And also when there is a chance, for example, I remember last year there is a lot of offline events in Manila and also Cebu. And we have our team members and to join the offline events. And so we can talk to our community members like face to face. That is a very important like opportunities for us to hear the true opinion from our communities. So I think in the futures we'll keep doing that and also open to more feedbacks to see if there's any other things that we can do together in South Asia and also in Philippines.
All right, so JJ Shu, thank you for your question. I think I have a question naman for Gio. So, Gio, I
Okay.
think your turn to have a question too.
All
So,
right.
here, maybe someone who's built a brand. So, Mark Justin Balisi, they ask,
Okay.
question for Sir Gio. what advice would you give to creators who want to start building their brand within the Web3 gaming space?
Wow. All right. For those who don't know, I was a full time Facebook streamer back in the pandemic. So I used to play a lot of games while streaming on Facebook and earned around 100,000 followers because of it in Facebook. But now I'm on TikTok, Web TikTok, so it's different. But yeah, um, the biggest advice that I would give you is look for something that you're interested in first, because most of the time, like, if you're looking to build your brand in the web3 gaming space, if you're not interested in it, it's hard to be consistent. By the end of the day, you have to be consistent with what you're gonna do in general. And then secondly, of course, if you're interested in it, look if the one you're interested in is popular or has a search engine, because we all value right now, especially in this new era of social media, it has to have people have to search about it so that you can be discovered, so that they could see that you're they could discover you playing the popular game. And number three that I could advise, of course, this is a cheat code for every other creators that you see in social media. They have a specific character that they're playing, like, yeah, either a specific personality or a specific cosplay costume or whatever you want to try. Just be creative about it. So it's a matter of like playing with that dynamic until you discover your own brand eventually, because it's really hard to just focus on what brand should I do before I start. My best advice is just to start and be consistent, and then eventually you'll play with SEOs, play with games, play with your character and stuff. By the end of the day, you just have to be consistent. That's it.
So be consistent. So Mark, thanks for your question. And Gio, thank you for your insight. So I'll toss the microphone back to Leo, and I think this one would be interesting because maybe if you're building for gaming and data, maybe you see this topic popping up a bit, like on discussion boards. So Eri Greerate asked, how do you think traditional gaming companies will respond to players demanding more control over their data and digital assets? Because maybe people think that, oh, these Web2 companies, they control your data and stuff like that. So maybe what's your take on what you're seeing in the industry with regards to gaming, and the whole data ownership topic, Leo?
Very honest speaking, I think for the Web2 companies, those like gaming giant, if you're talking about the data self-sovereignty, that you need to give back the data ownership to the users, I think they don't care. Yeah, because they are not like pushing into the corners that they have to give the data ownership back to the users. But that is also quite sad like scenarios, because right now the quality of the Web3 games are not as good as those like Web2 games, not as fine enough. So because for people, when they play games, the first priority to choose a game is very simple. If this is a fun game. So if there are two games, one game say it's a fun game, but it does not care about the data ownership at all. All the data is like centralized in the company, in the developer's hand. And another is the game, which is not so fun, but is like really respecting the user data self-sovereignty. You respect the user's data ownership. But I think most people will choose the first game because it's a fun game. So I think the only time is when the Web3 games have the same quality or the same level of the fun of playing the games compared to the Web2 games. Then for those like giant in the Web2 game industry, they will be pushed into the corner. Okay, I have to face the problem that if I don't provide the data ownership to the users, but these games are providing that, I'm not like building the redistribution model of the revenue to give part of the revenue which belong to the users back to the users. But some games is doing that. Then I will lose my users. I will lose the money. So I think this is the time when the Web2 games will make some change. But very sadly, right now, it's not that situation. They still are creating the games which is like feeling really fun to play, so they don't have to face the problem.
All right. So Eri, thank you for your question. And take another question um, for Leo again, actually. So maybe this one. I think this one would be a good to enlighten the audience. So, Sir Leo, as CGO of CARV, what's the most unexpected use case of gaming data you've seen so far? Thank you, Jimmy Mirabuna.
Thank you, Jimmy. This is the hard question. Let me think, because there are like so many cases of like utilizing the user's data. I think maybe I will share a case which we are we were doing like last year, which is like trying to do some growth on Telegram. Yeah, because as you know, last year like Telegram is growing really really fast. That is like surprising everybody. There is a huge user base there, and so everyone's attention suddenly switched to Telegram. And there are a lot of the mini games which gain the users, and also the launch token, and some of the tokens get quite good performance. So at that time, we are thinking there might be a chance, which is Telegram. You know, it is a closed network, and in the other like closed network, for example, on Facebook, on TikTok, they have their own like advertising network, which is like you can target a certain group of users and to see, okay, I want to target as those users who is playing Mobile Legends in Philippines. So I target these users on Facebook, and it can give this user to you for you to do the advertisement. But on Telegram at that time, there's no S network like that. So I think it might be an opportunity that we integrate the CARV ID and also like to integrate the CARV protocol, which makes sure that the user's data can be like put together into our CARV ID, and also the data can be utilized through the CARV protocol in a privacy preserving manner. So we have started to build a S network on Telegram. But the result is not really good. Several reasons. One is like Telegram, the ecosystem is not growing as we expected. Another thing is we realized we have to like respect the industry of advertisement like more. It's mainly because that's not only about like how many users you have and how much user data you have, but also it is about the demand size, like how many advertisers need to target this group of users. Because at that time, the imagination from the Telegram ecosystem is mainly at the mini games, which is the tap to play model. But in this model, each user's value in the advertisement industry will not be as high as in, for example, the independent mobile applications or like other form. So that's why on the demand side, there is not enough demands which can grow this industry. So I think this is the very interesting use case for us, and also some learning for CARV towards like the data monetization.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, Leo. So I guess a question for Gio this time.
All right.
So this one will tap a bit more into being a KOL again. So Jeff, Edward, Hajimara, they ask, how can Web3 projects build inclusive KOL programs that empower micro influencers in emerging markets like Southeast Asia, C, Latin America, and Africa? So maybe what have you seen? Maybe you've collaborated with other figures also, since you travel a lot also for the crypto scene.
Actually, what I've noticed with the whole Web3 industry in terms of in terms of empowering micro influencers, what I'm seeing a lot from different countries are there are they are treating them right. Like if you're gonna go to a specific country, I'm gonna give an example to when I was in Dubai. It's a mix of micro and macro influencers. There was a Web3 event, and then instead of just focusing on the project or the seminar, they empowered KOLs to just enjoy Dubai, right? Enjoy Dubai, the sands of Dubai, and we just had a good time, bonded, and then eventually, all the KOLs became interested with the project. That is because one of by the end of the day, for me, even as a big KOL, the biggest the biggest catalyst for me to be empowered is personal relationships. By the end of the day, it beyond monetary and stuff, because of course people want monetary rewards, but personal relationships is the most important for me. And I think for micro influencers who's just starting, that will be a huge catalyst for them to keep going.
Awesome. So Jeff, thank you for your question. And I think I agree, like that hospitality is so important to kind of
Yep.
like warming them up to get you through the door. So Jeff, thank you, and Gio, thank you for that. So I guess another question. This one also is probably interesting. So I'll toss the mic back to you again, Gio. Um, so actually, I'll take another question from Jeff. So since we're on the topic of AI, also as part of the scope, what role could AI generated influencers or avatars play in the future of Web3 marketing or even wider marketing? And if you can take a stab at this one, so especially linked to on-chain history. So I think we see like mga VTubers, right? I think that's becoming
Yeah.
an interesting thing. But is it possible to have like an AI generated influencer or something like that? So maybe take a stab at your thoughts about AI generated influencers and influencer marketing.
Actually, kind of, this is already happening right now. And if you've seen the updates about the Google VU3. That is really kind of like a mix of scary and exciting. Because by the end of the day, like if you're a full time influencer and then you see AI looking real, you're kind of scared. But by the end of the day, you can also use it to be more efficient while doing your content. What good thing about what good thing about AI influencers is they can be consistent without emotion. They can post contents anytime, anywhere. Like even every hour if you like. You just put out a prompt in the script and then they'll do it for you. But I like this additional question, especially when linked to probable on-chain histories, because most of the time you'll see a lot of AI contents, but it's so hard to trust them, right? Because when you see AI content, it's not real people. It might be just a scam or whatever on social media. But if it's linked to probable on-chain history, that is a game changer, because you'll see the history of of the credibility of that AI influencer, AI generated content. So that's the importance of blockchain, to really prove everything, that is, if this is correct or genuine. Yep.
All right. So thank you again, Jeff, for that question. Now I'm gonna turn the microphone back to Leo. So I guess Leo, I like this one. Um, so JV Ilagan, they ask, what advice would you give to a gamer who's curious about Web3 but skeptical of connecting their data to the blockchain?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, because for me, I have like been through the same like flow of like from a gamer to a Web3 gamer, and then to someone is like working in the Web3 industry. I think you should not like take this like too serious, and just like follow your interest from the beginning. Yeah, because no matter what, you are a gamer, right? The reason why you become a gamer is you want to have fun. So just to choose from those like hundreds of the Web3 games to see like which game can actually catch your interest. To think, okay, this is a fun game for me to play, and maybe play with several friends gonna really be helpful, because there are like so many things you need to learn in the Web3 games. Because I think the difficulties of being a beginners, being a rookie, and trying to like get all the knowledge from the game in Web3 is much harder than the Web2. So having friends to play together can definitely help, but as we always said, the interest is the best teacher. You have to have the interest in that game, then you can have the motivation to play more. And I think after that, then maybe it's the time to learn about what is the mechanism we designed, about the play to earn, and also what is the tokenomics across the different like Web3 gaming projects. Then maybe the time to learn those like serious things. Yeah.
Awesome. JV, thank you for your question, and also Leo for answering that. Um, Actually, I think I want to take this one also. Um, Sounds a bit funny. So back to you again, Leo. Jacob Peterson asked, if a player rage quits a game forever, what happens to their data trail on CARV?
Okay, that's gonna be look very strange data. Yeah, but it's like the data on CARV. There are several different levels of the data storage. One level is in our like the green field, and also using the key for the executions, like all the user data which we think have the monetization value, which can represent data, will be kept in our like green field. For example, in the advertising industry, and also for those games who trying to find do the user acquisition to find the users who is playing the similar games, like your achievements and how much money you like to spend in the game, and what is the gaming playing habit, and those are the most like valuable data for monetization. So in the greenfield, these are the like top priority data that we kept. And also another level is more on the consumer side, on our like game player side, because we want to make this as a fun process rather than just like very serious putting all the data in the database. So we create something called the Genesis Archive Token, the GAT, which is, for example, you play CSGO, and those are all the achievements that you have collected from CSGO. And you can create a unique Soulbound token, which show the map of your like gaming experience. And this can be shared on our social medias. So I think no matter what way you play games, the gaming data will be kept in a serious way for monetization on CARV, in our greenfield, and also at the same time there are some like fun products which can create like something that you can share on social medias through your data.
All right. So thank you, Jacob, I hope your question was answered. Um, I think another question I'd like to ask um, would be probably, let me take from Facebook again. Yeah, so from JJ Shu again. So yeah, how does Carve handle accessibility, especially for users who are non-technical or new to Web3 but want to start participating in like this whole data to earn model? So JJ Shu again with a question for you, Leo.
Yeah, thanks so much for this question. I think this is also a challenge for CARV because we think the data ownership and also the data to earn should not be only focused on like the people who is very familiar about Web3, but it should have a like a larger scale for utility. Yeah, because as we know, Web2 users is a larger user space compared to Web3 like gamers. So we are trying several things. The first is in our whole process for the data to earn for our like users, we try to remove as more as the like Web3 related features as possible. For example, it requires you to have the wallets, and after that, we're trying to remove the several other steps that you have to do. We're trying to do it from our end, so from our users, it should be a smooth experience. So to achieve this target, we have published an application which is called the CARV Data to Earn. It's a mobile application, and that application is like mainly trying to target as the Web2 users. So they still need to create a wallet, but the wallet will be in the backend stage. Users do not have to have the knowledge about like what is a Web3 wallet and like how to use that wallet. But we create that for our users. And only when it step into the stage that they have to do the withdrawal, they have to learn some knowledge about the wallet to have their like the revenue they earn from their data utility to withdraw as fiat or as to their like, other wallet. So I think it's like from our end also trying to provide a smoother experience for those users who almost has no knowledge about Web3.
All right. So JJ, thank you for your question again. Yeah, and I think I'd like to ask this question for maybe the both of you, right? So our topic for tonight is gaming, AI, data. These are probably three big things, especially for the Filipino crypto community. So Mark Balisi, they ask again. So as we, I guess, round out the program, what's one key takeaway you want the community to remember about the future of gaming, AI, and data ownership? So I'd like to ask maybe the both of you for your thoughts on where that space is going, as I guess industry figures. So maybe Leo, you can kick off. What's your takeaway, or what do you think about the future of gaming, AI, data ownership, and also crypto? I guess because we're seeing this intersection, especially with Carve.
Yeah, thanks so much for this question. I think we can put these several atoms in different position. So gaming is the um, what is present is the current moment, and AI is definitely the future. And the data ownership is something that can last forever. But as AI is evolving right now, that the importance of data ownership is more than before. Yeah, because as I just shared, and what industry is utilizing the user's personal data most is advertisement. But right now we have the AI industry, which is requires a large amount of users' personal data for training and also for providing the users the customized, the personalized experience to the users. So the AI increased the importance of the data ownership. And crypto is the way for us to achieve the data ownership. Because in the traditional market, there's no reason for those market who is holding the users' data to give the ownership back to the users or share the revenue back to the users. But the crypto and also Web3 can make this happen. So I think the leadership of these several things is right now we have gaming, and gaming will be forever. And in the future, the AI is evolving, which increase the importance of the data ownership, and crypto is helping us to achieve that.
Thank you, Leo. Maybe Gio, your turn. So your thoughts, where this space is going in the near future.
Actually, I'm pretty excited to where the space is going in generally because before it was everything was all a speculation, but right now you're seeing everything like going like piecing the puzzles are already piecing together, but still we're very early, and generally you'll see everything to be better and updated in the next following years, and it's gonna be different next year. Whatever you see this year is gonna be different next year and the following year, etc. But by the end of the day, like for us, everything is important. Like, of course, data ownership, but the future generation will, it will be just normal to them. That's my takeaway from that.
All right. So thank you, Leo and Gio. I think one question also I'd actually like to take for Leo on the Facebook Live is this one. Um, so back to Jimmy Mirabun again. So, how far are we from a reality where your game achievements influence job opportunities or social credibility? I think that's a more interesting and feasible use case.
Well, great question. I think, like Jimmy, maybe you are seeking for like some job opportunities in game industries. I think, yeah, that's why you ask this question. Because I think there are different roles in the game industry, and some has the high requirements on your like gaming level, your gaming achievements, your gaming like credentials, and some has less. So, what is the role that has higher requirements on your gaming achievements? One role is definitely the role which is close to esports, because esports is always the how to say the peak of the gaming industry. There, if there is like the PvP game or competitive games, and what can decide what is the highest achievement this game can get will be the esports level. And also for people working close to esports, they have to have a very good gaming skill and also the gaming achievements. And second role, I think, is more about the in-game operations or in-game design, including the game designer, and also for someone who is doing the operations of the game to design what is the monetization and this item should sell this money to the users, or like what kind of in-game events we have. They have to have a very in-depth knowledge about the games, and that will have the high requirements on the gaming achievements and also the gaming credentials. And also for the other roles, for example, community, and definitely you need to be a good gamer to manage a gaming community. So I think the gamer achievements can definitely influence the job opportunities if you want to find a job in gaming to do the in-game design, in-game operations, community, and also esports. But I think right now it's more like in the job interview in the, for example, gaming industry. It's like people talk to each other to learn about like what is your credential and achievements. But I think that is something that crypto can make some contributions, because with crypto, that all your like gaming credentials and contributions can be verified and also gathered in one place to showcase. Might be something that can make change.
All right, interesting input there. Um, yeah, so Jimmy Mirabella, thank you for that question. And I guess I'd like to wrap up the program as well there. So thank you, Gio and Leo, for joining us for tonight's discussion. Leo for introducing CARV, talking more about gaming, AI, and data, and also Gio on breaking down those complex crypto topics and also giving some of his insights on how to build brand and also share his experience also with us. So maybe for the both of you, I'd just like to maybe have a round of closing messages just for the community who's tuned into our stream tonight. So maybe, Gio, I'd like to ask you, maybe you can go first. Maybe the community can find you, and what maybe you also you'd want to promote to the Kia community and our community as well who's tuned in.
Hello, guys. Again, for those who don't know me, I'm Gio Comia, and of course, hi to everyone who's watching right now. Thank you so much for having me here, coins.ph. For this is my second time being here, and I'm so excited for to like have this more soon, because this is such a good AMA for us, especially with the community, sharing our insights, learning more about projects on the market like Carve. And also learned so much today about Carve and its goal. And me as a gamer, because I'm also a gamer by heart. I'm so excited for the future of data ownership, modular identity, and everything else, because I wanna like cement my gaming achievements. That's what because I'm and and at the same time I wanna like eventually, when I just wanna be casual, I wanna monetize what I do there. And yeah, so excited for that, and see you again soon, guys. And you can follow me at Comia at my TikTok, even Facebook, even Instagram, and everywhere else. Yeah.
Awesome, Gio. Thank you so much for joining us again. Maybe Leo, to wrap up the session, just farewell message, closing message to the CARV community who's watching and the coins.ph community who's tuned in.
Yeah, thank you, Java. So very happy to be here tonight. And as you know, like AI is evolving and it's kind of like changing the structures of many products and also many verticals. So we are very excited about this, and also we are working very hard to find the contributions that we can make in this like era of AI. And also very exciting that we can have a chance to explore this like a new era with the community together. It's a very exciting adventures ahead of us, right? And another thing want to share is the one thing that I'm most proud of CARV is our community. So welcome for everyone to join the community. It does not need to be very serious, just having fun together and playing games together, and also open to all the feedbacks and discussions. And yeah, we'll be very happy and looking forward to know everybody. And lastly, yeah, great honor to join this MA. And thank you, Jaffa and Gio, for the amazing insights and this AMA. Thanks.
All right. So, thank you so much to everyone for joining us for tonight's discussion. I'm Jaffa, community manager for coins.ph. It's been an honor to host you guys, a pleasure to host. And we'll see you all again for our next Community Wednesdays, where we'll also be talking more about Web3 and everything under the sun for crypto. So, thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Wednesday evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. So, bye, guys, and see you all next week.
Thank you so much. Good night, guys.